Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. And today, we're being joined by Steve Brown, author of The Golden Toilet: Stop Flushing Your Marketing Budget into Your Website and Build a System that Grows Your Business. And Steve, out of 600 plus episodes, that is one of my favorite titles. So welcome to the show. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you, Paul. I'm excited to be here.
All right. Well, let's get started. Question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
So if you're a first-time author and you're just now writing your book, you have an awesome opportunity to think about the higher expectations that you could have of your book and as it would fit into the overall system, assuming that you're writing a book to help you grow your business or you're writing a book to help you get more opportunities. This is a great time to make sure that your branding, your marketing, your sales, your positioning is baked into this asset that you're investing in so that you can get a bigger return on this investment, that it can help you, support other things that you've worked so hard to earn up to this point. I think that's a very overlooked thing that many authors, if they could, they would go back and tighten up these little parts to help support their overall strategy.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
There's all these little details that you probably, because you're not from that area, the book area, the self-publishing area, I think there's all these little details that offer you little pitfalls or little ditches that you could step in. And so they can be overwhelming, they can be intimidating, and I think it's important that you find someone that helps you tighten up all those little details. And there's many, from the title of your book to the font, to the color of the paper, to even the cover, even the organization. I think that unless you're really, really confident about all those things, you should ask for help.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
Yeah, so in my book in particular, I took the opportunity in my company being an internet marketing agency. I set up a landing page, but at the end of every chapter, I have a little call to action that sends folks to that webpage to get further resources, interactive resources that you can update. I just put them in a little page where you input your email, and it gives you free access to all of those additional supporting resources that people would have further questions or want to know more in-depth information for.
I love that strategy. One of my mentors starting out was Kevin Cruz, and that's one of the things that he always talked about in his emails was to have a call to action after every single chapter, and tailor it towards that. But essentially that CTA goes to one main landing page that has all those resources on it. But if you're covering a certain topic in chapter one, you're going, okay, let's get more about this topic. Go over to this site and grab your free resources. But on chapter 2, it's earmarked towards this different area. And I think that's one of the best strategies that you can utilize, where you're offering essentially the same thing, but you're tailoring it for each and every chapter. And I think that's something that a lot of authors don't necessarily take advantage of, especially if they're wanting to utilize their book for lead generation.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, the people that want those or expect those, they're really thankful and they really appreciate the additional support. And so it's only smart, and they love it.
Yeah, out of my 15 books, I think we've got those CTAs after every chapter and at least 12 of them. And the thing is, it works. And it's just about tailoring that offer for each of those and being able to grab those resources. But I think that's one of the real big strategies that people don't take advantage enough of.
I totally agree. That's the challenge when you're self-publishing or you're publishing. Even you have to put your book on Amazon, or you have use YouTube maybe to promote it or whatever, but you don't know who's viewing or purchasing from those platforms. And so to have an area where you drive those folks to and give them an opportunity to identify them, then you can grow your relationships deeper.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
So right now, my favorite book is called Save the Cat. It's by Blake Snyder. It's the last book on screenwriting that you'll ever need. But even though I'm not a screenwriter, there's a lot of great nuggets in here for book writing. And I'm in the middle of writing my second book. But one of the things that in chapter 2, he's got this whole, I just love the way he writes, but it's give me the same thing, only different. And this is a concept in another book. It's called Hit Makers by Derek Thompson. And it's the study of what makes a hit. And we need to give the brain something familiar so that they feel safe, but you have to bring in something unique or new that's a surprise. And that should be honored in the way that you write your books and the information that you deliver. So that's what I love about that book.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
So the other book I'm really enjoying right now is called Marketing the Mind States. And it's about everyone is in a certain state of mind when they're evaluating a solution or when they're looking for, a product or a service or a book. And what Will Leach is the author of that book, and he says, people don't think as much as you think they think. And that there's a lot of going on with their brains about how they feel. And they're in certain states of mind. And so to make sure that you honor that and help that mind or that state of mind, you present the material that satisfies people in that certain state of mind that they're in when they're evaluating your product or something. So, and he talks about the different states of mind, but I just love that quote, and it's easy to remember. People don't think as much as you think they think. They react emotionally.
I like that. Well, Steve, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Several ways. So I have a podcast, the ROI Online Podcast. I encourage everyone to listen. Also, you can get some great resources. You can get a free chapter of my book actually at thegoldentoilet.com and scroll down and sign up for a free chapter or the free resources that I mentioned earlier. And then our internet marketing. We work with authors to help them get their marketing act together and to help them design a platform to support the promotion and growth of their business via their book. And you can visit our website at roionline.com and sign up for the Quick Start Academy for authors.
Steve, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Paul, thanks, man. I appreciate it and appreciate you. It was excellent to be here.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.